In this game, we've got Short Timers versus Sebastian and Flounder. We've seen both of these teams earlier in the tournament. I'm joined by Spencer Stevens.
Hey there.
And
How are
Sam.
Sam Sparks.
Sparks. I knew it was Sparks.
Oh, look at that.
I
The
choked.
Scotsman's been so tired now he can't actually do anything.
I choked. Sam Sparks. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll be underway in just a second. In fact, oh, wow, we're underway now.
And there goes the first stone.
Oh, and it's Rainy Delaney for Short Timers.
12.
And they're throwing yellow. And as usual, I've got it the wrong way around. Short Timers. It's throwing yellow stones. So far, I've been wrong 100% of the time.
50% of the time, you're wrong 100% of the time.
That's
it's
right.
completely fine.
Absolutely. All right, so both opening stones coming up pretty light. And
looks like Rennie is going to try and ask for it to be closer to the 4 foot.
So just going to go around those. Plenty of room. Don't want to be too deep, though. That looks like a pretty nice weight. Wow.
And it's still a little short.
Yeah, would have liked to be a bit closer. I think
they're playing a close game.
Once somebody gets around all that, it's going to be interesting. It looks like a tap up here for Matt. And they had a nice game there last game we covered.
Nice.
So yeah, very nicely done. And Rahaney's going to try and stretch all the way around. I think she can get there.
I think she can too. She has line of sight.
The only trouble with these is you can't really see where you're throwing because your hand is way out to the side. So it's a little bit,
a little heavy. But
She's sitting shot there.
She is sitting shot.
Pretty nice. So pretty nice controlled shot there. All the teams are getting pretty good at those kind of lightweight taps into the back 8, back 12 area. So here's Kylie. And just having some fun here in the commentary box. And
looks like they did a nice little tap. Now they're sitting shut. Rainey's now observing where to try and get back in here.
Yeah, just one stone each left to come. So red shot, but I think it is available to be tapped. But they're going the other way. I think they're going to try and outdraw it. No, they're trying to raise. I see. And
yeah, pretty good. They're sitting shot.
Nice shot, but there's a potential 3 on the cards here if
there is.
You can move that yellow.
Just push it back.
Not.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to hit it that hard. You just have to tap it. Basically, where Rainey threw her one shot over here on the far right.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. Well, Matt Tingling, I mean, he can do it 2 ways. He can run back to the red, or he might be able to go right around it. Looks like he's going to run back.
Running back there.
So a lot of weight control required. Oh, well, the line just over.
All right.
I was going to say over curled. I guess that's not quite right, but yeah, just didn't quite get the line there. So it's going to be a steal for the Old Timers in the first end. So that's 1 on the board. Oh, somewhere. Yeah. Early days, though.
Short timers, not old timers.
I'm sorry. Did I say old
yes,
timers?
Yes, you did.
Oh, no.
Some might take offense to that.
Well, I apologize. I don't know what came over me. Sorry, Scott and Rainey. The Short Timers. I'm sorry, that was just terrible.
Oh, you know, there's a hockey league over next door. They call they're retired hockey players. They call themselves the Jerry Hattricks.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Keep rolling with the puns here.
Oh. Entirely accidental, I promise.
All right, Scott pushes it back. However, it's Red is still sitting shot there.
Red's gonna just tap out yellow.
we might jam it here. Well,
Oh,
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they did.
It's interesting watching them throw. We were talking about this in the last draw. Some of the players are throwing essentially with no handle because it's such a short distance. They just throw it dead straight. And some people are still throwing just like a regular curling shot. Well, the guests we had in the last draw seemed to favor just throwing it dead straight. I'm not sure myself, which is, I think both could work. It's just a preference.
I was seeing a lot of people putting extra rotation on it too to keep it running straight. I guess they were worried about it floating a little since they're throwing so little weight.
Right, yeah. I have seen some of the rocks. They do curl, even though it's only 8 feet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of curl there. This one from Kylie coming a little light, I think. Just tapping. So yellow now 2, and not very accessible for red, so.
Red has a tap on either side. It looks like the left side's the better one to tap, but I don't think they get shot if they tap it. So I guess Rainey would try and draw into the button now, just to make it certain of the steal.
That's an option. I mean, they could even throw some kind of guard here. The question is, what would you guard? Not sure.
Yeah, I mean, that guard's good too.
Yeah, they're talking about just going top 12, which is quite. Don't mind
I
that.
would almost try the draw still, though.
The draw is there.
So they went for a guard, and they made it pretty well. So we'll see. Well, there might be a gap. Not sure. But I think there is room to draw still. And I think that might be what they end up doing. Got to stretch around a little bit on, well, your right as you're looking at it on the screen. Their left. And a pretty nice try there, but I don't know.
I still think they got 2.
Yeah, just a little bit short there.
Tough one. Almost got there, but gives up 2.
Yeah, it looks like 2. 2.
So an early lead for the short timers.
Nice correction there.
Thank you very much. I do my best.
And the warm room is calling for the laser. Hence will be heading out there shortly.
Yeah, he's in demand with a lot of measures required so far tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So here, the third end. It's getting underway. Moves nice and quickly.
First stone, just a little bit behind the T line there.
Just behind T-line.
A little too deep.
I think Scott may go for the freeze.
The one constant that we seem to have come across so far in this try is that you really have to control the front. Once your rocks are deep, they're no good to you almost. So.
And Scott with the
tap
back
there.
And now has set up for a nice jam if they try to remove him.
Yeah, nice shot there from Scott. Shuts down the scoring area pretty well. So Matt trying a draw, just rubs the top yellow. Leave it a little short. Doesn't really help them. I think we might see Scott just kind of draw right down to his existing yellow almost. That might be good.
I think that's what he's looking at right now. Rainey is setting it up.
Yeah, I really like this. Really taking control of this game early. So, don't know if they're going to play it as a little tap or just a dead draw. I think I would, well.
Oh, a little short.
Still
block the hole up.
Not bad, yeah. There's no chance of getting in there on that side.
Yeah, it does make it awkward. So Kylie going pretty wide, looking at a raise here, I think.
Yeah, that raise is a little harder than it looks.
Yeah, I'm not sure angles are that great, but.
Oh, and proved us wrong.
Wow, nicely done by Kylie. Well. Yeah, the angles look pretty awkward, but she made it great. So
Rainey is looking at what she can get Scott to do. Looking at a wick, possibly? That's not a bad idea.
Hit and roll.
Interesting.
Just into the pocket there. Cover the button.
Yeah, that's what would happen. I push out. You don't even need to move the one off the button that much.
Yeah, a little bit of a sacrifice here, but
Yeah,
if you
even
can
if
stick
you
it,
just
push out the red a little bit, then you'll be secure.
yeah, even if you just freeze and hold them to one, that's pretty good. So here comes the shot for Scott. Looks pretty good.
Oh no, he didn't get it.
No.
He hit it too thick.
They are sitting number 2, however, so
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Not a lot of room to score another one.
No.
they'll have to be very careful here for getting their 2. If they decide to do promotion off their guard, could be a little dangerous there. May push it back too far.
Yeah, looks like the only way, so they're going to go for it.
They'd have to do another raise.
Yeah.
Another perfect
I
raise.
don't think it's got, no, it does have enough weight.
And
And
nicely
it's
executed.
absolutely
Yeah,
perfect.
really nice. That must be a 2, I think.
Yep, that's
Yep.
Matt Spencer for 2 on his hammer.
Nice throw there from Matt. So it's 3-2 at the halfway point to short timers. That's Scott Dalrymple and Rainey Delaney. And playing against Matt and Kylie. So Kylie putting their first rock, just biting the forefoot.
It's a good spot.
Yeah,
I've been liking that strategy where people just went right at the front of the forefoot.
yeah, we've talked to a few people after their games, and they seem to agree with you that that seems like their optimal spot when they don't have the hammer. Seems pretty effective.
So I will divulge a little bit of my strategy. Myself and my partner, we actually have a strength on opposite sides. So he leads, he puts his stone just outside of the forefoot on the right side of the center line to lure our opponents into the forefoot. Whereas I have a strength on the left side, I just gently push it back, and then we can promote the first guard as on the right side of the center line. That might be a strategy worth taking a look at.
That's very interesting. So you're kind of playing to your strengths. You have different sides.
Indeed.
That's something that we haven't really talked much about, but I like it. It's a good point.
So instead of having the opponent look for pushback on our guard, they'll actually take the bait for drawing in, which may or may not be a sound strategy. We're still
Nicely
experimenting.
done.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams draw straight around the first rock, like to the button, and we're up here in the commentary box. We're not always convinced that that's the right play. It's tempting, obviously, but
I like moving the stones back. Continuously
I do as
moving the
well.
opponent's
I do as
stones
well.
back.
Because
Yeah.
Gives you
always have
backing,
the
too.
backing. Yeah.
yeah, that's what we were kind of talking about. Yeah, it seems like that's a good strategy, but meanwhile, quite a bit of weight thrown there by Rainey.
Rainey was just given a little authority, letting the stones know who was boss.
Absolutely.
It's like red is still shot, and Matt looks like he is going to secure that.
So just throwing
through the port, maybe.
Oh, he's trying to do a little.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
don't think that's quite what he wanted, but
Not a bad
bad.
outcome.
Yeah.
They're sitting 1 and 2. Yellow start.
Might be able to move both of those reds to score 2.
This angle looks great, but there's no way to get it.
I wonder if they can come from.
Scott may be looking for the run back into the pocket. That will, given enough weight, secure a shot and sit them 1-2.
I wonder if you could go right around the yellow in top 12.
Looks possible as
Mr.
well. Just a little stretch out there.
Yeah, a little stretch, but well, we're looking at.
Certainly the pocket looks like the desirable spot.
Oh, I think he might actually be going.
I almost was looking at this red to yellow and push it back into there. So because now you're playing the scoreboard at this point.
Yeah.
Keeping 1 is still good. You don't need 2, even with hammer.
That's very true. And the angle's pretty good there for that
Yeah.
run.
I know you're certainly the fan of the alternating color run back, Sam.
Yes, I do like that.
Well, it looks like they're actually going through the port here in the middle. Not sure if this gives them 2. Oh, and yeah, that was the risk. And I think they have turned that into a steal of 2.
Ooh.
Unfortunately. So that one was a bit risky, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Still a 1-point game though. So all to play for. Another well-placed drop from Kylie. And as we were just talking about, playing the tap them back strategy. I kind of like that. That's the way to do it.
For a draw around, possibly.
Now, see, this is the shot I see after they do the tap back. The other team doesn't continue with the tapping. I would like to see someone try to continue tapping so that.
Yeah, and I sort of agree with you. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity. You try to draw around. If you don't make it perfect, it's the same thing again.
Yeah.
Another one tap
so
back.
Red is 1 and 2. However,
So now
like
yellow
Randy's
could do the tap
talking
back and
about
has
tap back.
backing. Yeah.
And I think they're looking at that.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the safe bet. I mean, you have backing. Just go ahead and do the tap back. Establish position.
certainly draw wouldn't be too bad strategy there as well, because you're not moving any of the guards around.
Yeah, well, looks like
They definitely want to look at that back red there for a bit of security.
I think they might be playing a promote here, yeah.
Hit the wrong angle. No, but that's fine.
Randy calls perfect.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with it. I don't know.
Now, if I was red, I would look at the draw now, because now you have backing since that went a little deep and just come down and sit on it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, that would be a great spot to get there, and I think you could get there the other side, but they're going for the raise instead.
Yeah, I was going to say the other side looks like it might be a little easier.
Yeah, I think so, but they decided on the raise. Maybe Kylie prefers this side. And made it great, so nice shot.
Well guarded and right there on the top of the button. Rainey and Scott lining up a good shot.
So
looks like they may return fire with another run back.
yeah, just looking at the angles here.
Plenty of weight for this to get it out, so they can sit 1 and 2.
Gotta be a little careful to take it too far. Oh, and might have missed it altogether.
Oh, just rubs right off. Red is still sitting shot.
So now, decision for Matt. I think just draw another one right on top of that.
Right, yeah, drawing right on top or even behind the yellow. Protect from the run back.
Yeah. Looks like that's what he's going to do, is to go on top. Sit 2. Oh, a little bit wide for the line, I think, and short. But it acts as a guard.
Run back may still be there.
Yeah, it looks like there's a path for a single point.
Rainey's lining it up there.
There's Scott, just got to play the run back through the hole. It's going to jam it, but that should be okay. Oh, well, I said that. And
That's not
just
good.
caught the wrong angle.
Push them in. Steal 1.
Oh, so back-to-back steals.
And it's coming all down here. Down by 2. You almost have to make it perfect.
Yep, last end here. And another good
well
stone
done.
there.
Right
Very
on the center
consistent play, yeah. Being pretty the same position every time.
line. And the same response for
Yeah.
pushback there.
Yep.
And back in the floor.
Sticking with that strategy, and I like it still.
Matt drawing around. Secures the button very well.
I think we'll probably see a play on those two reds.
I think so.
Just follow the path that Matsu can tap them both.
Leave some backing. Rainey asking for the possibility of double contact.
Yeah,
Right,
you'd almost
so
want to hit this just enough so they can just split
out
out.
a little bit.
Split out, yeah.
Fan out some backing there for any future rocks that they want to.
So where would you have to?
Honestly, I come from the right side.
Yeah, right
I was
side.
thinking the other side too.
Right
Oh,
side
and-
would get you to do that.
Just left of the nose as well.
Yeah, just left the nose would get you to do a little nice fan, giving you backing.
I think that's what they're lining up here.
Yep.
For.
Yeah, they have come to this side. I like that.
All right.
Just got to find the right weight.
Scott.
It's a little too much.
Oh. Well,
Just on nose.
not bad.
Pushes them back, and they sit shot just right on the button, edge of the button there. Matt's options here are to push the yellow out on the opposite side or draw right to the button. Use their backing before Scott and Rainey come in before. And it looks like the shot.
Interesting two-handed delivery we have here. Just kind of pushing the stone with both hands. Seems to work pretty well.
And hey, they're shot now. Cover just enough of the button.
I would come from the right side again and hit your own Yellowstone to push out the red.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so. It's not what they're looking at, though. Well, maybe Scott's looking at it now.
Not from the left side. There's nothing you want to do on that left side.
I don't think so, but,
Absolutely.
well, they are
No, that'll push your own Yellowstone out if you hit that way. You got to come and hit your yellow into their red.
I agree with you, Sam, but they're going to go to the red directly, but no. Catches the guard. I think Rainey was just a little too anxious for that one. She threw it pretty hard.
She wanted it a little too bad.
So this could be very difficult now if Matt can just chip that
Just a
yellow into the
gentle
back eight.
push back and then rest on their own red.
And then I think that'll be game over.
Yeah.
Well, he could also just go right now and chip the yellow. Or yeah, I mean, you could push the red back and or also chip the yellow because there's no separation.
Yeah. Although,
And-
he didn't throw it as hard as I would have thought, but I think he's
Ooh.
fine.
But it does give him a chance. Rennie now has a shot, right? If you go from this
Yeah.
right side over here, Scott can hit the
Just need to push
red.
that out
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was a
without affecting the yellow that's already
bit of a
sitting.
mistake there.
You don't even have to throw that much weight at it.
No, you just have to move it. Wow, 6 inches? Well,
yeah, 6 inches is all you need to move.
Well, they're going for it.
All right, Scott.
And this is the last shot of the game.
Let's see. Can he assist to tie it?
A hush falls over the crowd as he lines up to tee in.
And here he goes. Has he got it?
Wonderful
with
He
the-
shot.
has.
And with
Oh.
the ooh,
But he moved the yellow. Did he move it too far?
I don't know.
It's hard to see from here. It looks. It looks really
Okay.
close.
It's
Looks
really
like,
close,
Yeah,
yeah.
might be yellow.
And it's calling for the measure here.
Calling for a laser.
Well, they got one. Question is, did they get the second point to tie the game?
Oh, it's a tie game.
Tied game.
They have agreed that it was too.
And now
So
it comes down to
It comes down to skip.
Skips rocks.
All right.
That's my favorite part of Short House.
And if you just joined us, Skips Rocks is determined by whoever can draw to as close to the hog line as possible without touching or going across.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because it's very different weight to what anyone's been throwing in the entire game. So here's Scott going to throw for his team.
It looks heavy.
Oh, it was pretty
Honestly,
good.
I think it'll be just outside of the house.
Well, I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that. It's just like a tight guard area,
Yeah.
so lots of room for Matt.
He just has to throw it a little more.
And I think they're just going to leave that one there. Matt's going to throw.
And
it's definitely more. I think he's got it.
He's by.
So nicely done for Matt,
All
and
right.
that will be the win
That's
for Sebastian and Flounder. Another nice tight game. Skips rocks. Commiserations to the short timers, Rainey and Scott. And that is the end of draw 9.
All right.
We will be back in just a few minutes with draw 10.
Very shortly.
Thanks very much for tuning in. Stay with us.
Thank you very much.